Yo, what's going on guys, Aaron here and welcome back to another Star Savior video. So in this video we're going to be covering journey mode itself, and don't worry, I plan to cover this early on, but still this one will be about the normal mode for journey. And since a lot of people have been asking for it, this will be a good time to explain how the entire mode actually works, because even some explanations after, there are still people confused. So we're going to be covering everything you need to know, and I'll try to make it as easy to understand as possible while being simple. Now, first of all, we need to go ahead and understand how Arcanas work. Alright, so Arcanas, and I'm going to mention this again, are very crucial and the core aspect of how you can get your characters very powerful, increasing their combat power, etc. But for today, I'm just going to cover everything about journey. I'll leave the combat power increase more in depth. If you guys want to know about it, then just let me know down in the comments area below. But once again, Arcana is a very important aspect of this game, so make sure to not sleep on them. Now, to understand how they work, first of all, the main value of the Arcana is residing within the journey event itself. And what's more, you can clearly tell how good they are if there's a specific support passive that they provide. So for example, Petra's Arcana specifically provides crit rate support, and it's a universal support for everyone else as well, because this crit rate support can be applied to pretty much every single savior out there, hence the universal support. And this right here is what made it worth a lot, because you can increase crit rate by 18%, and again, this can apply to every single savior that you bring this Arcana to journey for. So for this particular video, I will be slotting in some SRs that I already upgraded, and keep in mind everything is only at level 25. It's the bare minimum of unlocking every single stat that is available. So they are not at the maximum stats possible. Regardless, I just want to show you that it's still possible to clear normal mode with SR Arcanas. Obviously, there are some people that already have SSR Arcanas, so if you have already some SSR Arcanas, for example Petra, Lacey, Charlotte, or even Bunny Frey, you can switch any of them out with either of these SR Arcanas. Another thing about Arcanas is that sometimes they also have a special effect or very class targetive, which, for example, the best example is actually one of the other ones, which is Kyra's Arcana. So if you don't know what Kyra's Arcana do, let me just quickly show you. This one right here. This one applies to assassin only, but increases speed by 10 at the start of the turn, stacks up to 3 times. This one pretty much allows your Bunny Charlotte to gain a very high extra speed. So on top of the speed they're already getting from Charlotte's Arcana, this will be applied as well. So you can clearly find how good the Arcanas are, although some of them are not very universal, but specific potential increases are gonna be also very good for Arcanas. And hopefully that makes you easier to understand why Arcanas are worth it and what makes them very useful when it comes to tackling journey and helping you out in easier when it comes to the entire event. So without further ado, let's head into journey. And don't worry, I am not going to cut anything at all when I'm doing the journey, so the video will be extra long. But this is for the sake of people understanding when do you need to train, when do you need to rest, and when do you need to go for subjugations. We are gonna go ahead and select our main target that you want to go ahead and try and push journey mode. So the easiest way to clear journey mode so for first timers, they really need to have a character that allows them to clear journey mode easily. Okay, so the main important thing is you can clear it on the first time, because you cannot auto before you clear the mode the first time itself. So here we go. Now obviously you should take your best sub provider. So for example, let's see, I have, okay, pretty much this one is the only attack I have, and then I can go ahead and find, okay, Frey. So for example, these two, you can go ahead and take it for your run and then just click confirm. And okay, I'm gonna change this to my SR Arcanas. So this is the bare minimum. If you have the selector you haven't used yet, like either from the paid or you got lucky with Lacey Arcana, this is the good way to go. But if you don't want to use Lacey's Arcana, you can also go ahead, either pick a substitute of Lynn's Arcana or another SR Arcana right here. So that's the ideal setup. If you can use it, then this will be very nice. But for the sake of the video, we are gonna head straight into the journey mode, and I'll just show you how things work. So every time you get into a journey, you will receive a special gift that belongs to the character or savior that you're training. So for Lacey, you'll get Azure Breath, which increases self-action cost by 50% after using Ascending Fire Dragon if the enemy has Entangled Dream. So which is a very solid gift at the start, because every single savior that you train will always get a gift specialized to help benefit the journey and helping them to make it easier. So if we just move on, and again there will be another selection of gifts, you can simply just pick the one that the system recommends you, and usually it's pretty much matches towards the savior that you're picking. So regardless, it's fine to just not look at it and then of course just pick it. If you want to choose something else, you can as well. Okay, so now first of all, training, quest and rest. You will do a training first, and for DPS, focus on strength. Strength is a priority. And once you upgrade it to a certain amount of degree of strength stat, you need to upgrade some on vitality just to increase the survivability before your other saviors join you for the fight. So now the second day I will also go for training, but if you want to, you can also go ahead to rest and increase your mood. Mood increase is actually important because it gives you benefits such as increasing your speed by 10% when it's at the best. So if you're worried about the stamina being over, like, how do I say it? It's way too much, right? You can proceed to get another strength going. Okay, so now we can go ahead and use rest right here, increasing the mood. Great success. If it's a great success, it's a very good occurrence because your mood in general will just increase by a lot. So as you can see, great success gives me immediately to best, and don't worry about the journey coins because early on you are not to worry about it too much. Alright, now you need to put a bit on vitality here since it got down to 0. Make sure to have a bit of vitality and just move on. Okay, so let's see. Gain 4 additional normal force, trigger basically with 10% after being attacked. Here we go, take this. Alright. As you level up your journey, you'll be able to unlock various new gifts that you haven't gotten before, and this also applies to hard mode, which only unlocks when you finish chapter 18. So that won't be too early, so rest assured. Now, I could go ahead and check the quest. If you feel like you need money to buy any of the gifts you're hoping for, then obviously you can go ahead and try this. And also prioritize the one that you can actually do, because do not go and challenge very hard. If it states very hard, you should not go ahead and attempt it because obviously it's gonna be very hard for your stats currently. And if it says normal or easy, go ahead. And one more thing, if you're using Lacey, most of the time these hard raid quests at early on, since she has self-sustain, she'll most likely just be successful regardless. Lacey is probably one of the only other savior that can actually attempt that because she has self-sustain, enemies that hit her will automatically heal herself, and hence you can always go for the very hard option regardless of who you use. The only one you can do that on is Lacey when it comes to subjugations, but not the quest itself. Earlier it was subjugation, but before that it was quest. Still respect the warning and do not ignore it, because if you go in, you're gonna lose a day and just get a minor stat increase. Okay, so if you take a look here, there will be a lottery ticket. This is also part of the RNG. If you did manage to get this, there will be a future event that will trigger where if you actually hit, you will get a special prize. But usually these gifts are going to be very helpful, so we are going to go ahead and pick this up and check which one is going to be helpful. So we refresh, take the portable fan, because portable fan is also going to be useful in a summer event where you need to use you need to head over to the summer event to gain increased strength stat increase. Alright, so we have 30. Let's refresh. And okay, not that much. You can only hold one portable fan at once, so that's why you cannot purchase it anymore. And the other ones are, if they are not the stat you're focusing on, then by all means just skip it and move on. Alright, so trial. I'm gonna just normally fight because just to give you guys an idea what's going on, and since most people are questioning how they will deal with, Lacey is probably one of the easiest ones to deal with, to clear the entire journey, because she has self-sustain once again. And with that, we're just gonna quickly go through this. I'm gonna speed up this part. Alright, so we are done with our first fight. There we go, basic trial complete, easy as that. Now we're gonna head over to the second part of the journey. This will be a part of another subjugation trial, which is gonna be a hunt trial. Always happens. Okay, now if your status is still at best and you still have like over half stamina, you can go ahead and check training. If the failure rate is still low, then go ahead and increase it as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do one more training here. And then next we are gonna increase is our vitality, because you need to know when to balance out your stats. So since we are tackling the second event or second trial, you need to increase your vitality next. And since we are already low on stamina, we can go ahead and rest. Just the 30 option is enough, because you can also have a chance to get great success, hence very much increasing your stamina recovery. So there are some kind of events, sometimes you'll get these, which various effects will be given when selected correctly, or debuffs if the selected option is the wrong choice. Okay, so if you see this option where there's like 3 of them, go ahead and pick them, because they will give you the most stat. The more characters or Arcana set buffs you see there, the more you get. So now that we're done with that, you can go ahead and okay, so this one in particular, weather lightning, most of the choice is the first one. Usually you should choose go back to headquarters, but sometimes, okay, so for that particular event, if you choose to continue, sometimes it'll lead to mood down and also tiredness, but most of the time I will still pick head back to headquarters regardless. You can try to pick continue training, even sometimes heading back to avoid the rain and the weather and everything. You still can get your mood down regardless of the choice, so it's okay, it's just one mood down. Alright, so now we are gonna be increasing our vitality, but since we are already low on stamina, we can go ahead and rest over here again, increase it, another great success chance. That's 3 out of 3 now, and we should be getting our mood increases. Okay, so this event will also get another gift from an event, just pick it up. Alright, now that we are at the best condition, we can go ahead and take vitality training, because we still need survivability regardless, otherwise we cannot tackle the final boss. For the normal journey, you need to have rank 52 at least. That's the final boss difficulty. And again, I'm behind by 5, but regardless, if you go ahead and just do this, it will still be a success, because once again, Lazy is going to have self-sustainability for you to survive. Okay, now that we're at the second part, we can go ahead and see anything that we can use. Okay, so for vitality, of course we need it, so go ahead and buy them and then refresh. We got focus protection, we don't need those. We have strength, okay, buy the strength. And usually I like to keep like at least 60 of the journey coins, in case if your stamina is not enough before the next phase or the next trial starts, you need to rest before you start training. So take a look at potential. If it's enough, make sure to check and see what you can get. If there's no attack potential or whatever, then you can just continue on, and we're just gonna skip this battle, and we are gonna be fine, just to save time. If you're worried that you might fail or your rank is not enough, then you can go ahead and manual it. But most of the time, if I were to save time, then skipping the trial is fine regardless. So now we have Bell on our team, we should be able to comfortably clear other parts of the trial as well. Very simple. Usually you just need to survive the first few trials, and then when your second partner comes in, you will be able to do fine for the rest of your journey, because the first worry is about surviving till your second partner comes in. Okay, well, now that we're in our third trial, same thing. I'm just gonna quickly go through this and then quickly arrive at the end of the trial. So now there will be a special golden occurrence, and this one is basically hyper resonance event. And of course, if your stamina is not enough, going this with a failure of 60% is still a loss, and anything that is not 100% is still 50-50. If you want to risk it, go ahead, but just to be safe and not waste a day, go ahead and rest. You just need to get your mood up, okay? So your mood still need to be your best, and then if you have a lucky chance, the gold occurrence might still stay there, but if not, don't worry, there will be plenty of other chances to go for. and regardless, you'll still be fine. And then once we're here, we only have 1 day left. You can go ahead and pick a quest if you are able to, but since our stats are still very hard, it's not recommended to do it because this is just a quest. Okay, you cannot do anything. If you want, if you rather, you can go ahead and rest again just to get your stamina recovery. The failure rate is still high, so in this case we are just gonna simply rest and just wait for the next training session. Okay, so now that we are at our trade points, we don't have enough money to buy anything, so we are not gonna do that. But for your talent, make sure to have a bit of stats going on for you. You can increase your speed. You can also increase your defense if you want extra. Again, this is only SR Arcanas, okay? So if you see an attack potential, go for that instead of defense, because I'm showcasing in SRs just to give you guys a showcase on how you can actually clear the content. Some people are still struggling a bit, so yeah. Okay, so we're just once again gonna skip this. We'll do fine. Okay, so this is our 4th trial, which will be fighting against Ceres and her partner. And once again, same thing. Check everything and make sure everything is there, and if everything's okay, then by all means just go ahead. I want to prioritize my strength to 500 first. That's the bare minimum at least, and then navigate to vitality and put in some of it, just to increase survivability. Okay, so here we have the lottery ticket, and if you do manage to buy a lottery ticket from the gift shop earlier, you have a chance to get a special reward based on a choice. And for this one, we'll go with the left one, and we did not get anything. Usually it's supposed to be a right one, because I haven't picked the left side, but if you did pick the right one, which is the right side, I mean the choice, if you pick the right one, you'll be able to pick a special reward, but I forgot what it was. Okay, today's weather foggy. We still continue to pick the training, our stamina decreases, but we do get our points back. Okay, obviously we cannot do this anymore, so we are just gonna rest, meditation. If your stamina is already very low, feel free to just use the 60 cost or the fancy suit to recover more. Okay, so now that we have a sense of attack, we can actually go ahead and learn this to increase our offense. And once you do, and see if you need to learn anything. Also, sense of insight, which increases the crit chance, by all means go ahead and upgrade it. And then for this trial, it's 31, and to which we already got 32. We can just skip it and we'll do just fine. Alright, so we are going to our training camp. And I want to explain quickly about training camp, because if you didn't notice, at the bottom side there will be a training bonus. This is the best time to get your wanted train stat to the max in this kind of event. So what I would recommend is, if you manage to actually rest before the transfer to the training camp, you can actually have a bunch of stamina leftovers to just simply spam your training, and you can get a lot of bonuses quickly. So for the beach, you will be able to get a 5% strength increase and concentration increase, while as the onsen will give you a vitality increase of 5% and protection of 5%. So in this case, since we're training strength, obviously we are going to go for the beach. Okay, so now that we're here, let's quickly take a look at our stats first. So we are at 523 strength, 195 vitality, and 172 endurance with 180 focus. Now, this is one of the more average stat you can have. If you're training on just simply SSR Arcanas, you are be able to just max out one stat, with the others being not as much. But thanks to the SR Arcanas, most of our stats are actually quite balanced, so there could be a good outcome using SR Arcanas. But regardless, take a look at training and see if there's anything else that can be good. Okay, so focus training will give us 2 of these, but we're not going to focus on concentration. We are still regardless going to go for strength, so there we go. So here's another event that I'm talking about, because yeah, if you have a fan right here, you're able to use it for this type of encounter. So once you use it, you're able to gain stamina increase and a bunch of various stat increases as well. So if you see those equipments or special gifts in the trade shop, go ahead and buy them, you won't regret it. Alright, our next gold occurrence is gonna be Vitality, so we are gonna go ahead and take that. Alright, so now that we're here, we can continue training and try to boost our strength as close to possible to 750, and then the rest of the training we can just quickly go ahead and do Vitality. So now we're already at 662. Okay, right now we are at 662, but we do need our stamina for our next encounter, so we're gonna go ahead and just simply rest. So there are two occasions where you can buy this. If your strength is still not max, you want to quickly increase it, you can buy this to increase the level, but since we're already close to 750, there's no reason for you to get this, and you can just save. Also, if you do come across this, if you did end up getting a debuff for your journey, buying this will immediately remove all of them, so a very good gift in my opinion. And obviously this one also increases the focus, but that's not our main focus of the training, so there's no need to buy them, especially since our journey coin is already so little. There's really no need to buy anything at all. And check potential again and see if there's anything you need. If you want to have more HP, go ahead for this, but we're gonna stack more on offense still. Okay, just gonna quickly skip this. There we go. Once again, if you really want to manual it, you can, but doing skip battles is a way to like just save time. Okay, having Lacey on your team, it makes it easier to tackle most of the enemies, so do not worry about failing. Okay, since we did rest, we did manage to get this, so right now we're about to head into 700, and just one more training we'll be hitting 750 with all SR Arcanas. So there is also one thing right here. The SR Arcanas also can provide some increase of skill insight. Obviously this is a Temu part of a Petra Arcana, but still you do get increased crit rate, so you can of course obviously go for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So right now we are currently sitting at 47 before the final battle, which is very huge, and we did in fact hit 750 strength right before the final boss. So if we just simply go ahead and skip this battle, we should be victorious regardless. And we'll just quickly go through the last part. The final boss requires you to have 52 battle. So I mean, no, sorry, 52 battle. Rank 52, that's what I mean. Okay, notice how I never do as much quests right now. I always focus on training and training. That's because Lacey really doesn't need too much complications when it comes to money. And this is a good time to answer this question. When should you get journey coins? The thing is, at day 5, you will be able to get subjugation requests, and those things give you a lot of coins. So even if you completely do not do these quests, and occasionally just do like maybe 1 or 2 over the course of the entire journey run, it will still be fine, because you do get a bunch of journey coins as you move on to the story, and you'll be perfectly fine without even doing too much of this. Just focus on training, because some people ask me like, why did I do so many trainings but I still couldn't get one stat to max? Well, that's because you put too much attention, maybe either towards quest or just rest way too often. You are scared to take the chances. If you see like 10% or 20% failure rate, still go ahead for it, because it's not above 50%, so you should still prove it fine, unless you're that one unlucky fella that actually fail on that percentage. But otherwise, you are free to go ahead and still choose the stat that you want to upgrade despite the failure rate. Anything under 50, you can go ahead and go for it. Alright, so now in this case we have a very easy, so if you want to do it, go ahead. This is the only time where you would actually do your quest, and if it's confirmed to be successful, by all means go ahead and do it. Alright, so we are at our final trial, and just to quickly look through on your potentials, so make sure you have every single one that you wanted. If you want more HP, you're scared you can't survive, then go ahead and pick it, but we're still gonna take an offense. Alright, now just spend every single of your journey coins here, because this trial will be the final one, so anything that will increase your stat will be beneficial. So more vitality, will take it. And obviously I have Belle and Bunny Frey, but this works with any other SSRs that you want to use. That pretty much will be helpful, okay? Still be fine. Make sure Lacey is still gonna have max stat possible as much as possible, and it'll make it significantly easier. Okay, so we're just gonna simply progress through the fight, and yeah, you guys can watch how I fight through the boss, my priorities on how I fight the other side enemies that you should do. Alright, and there we go. Okay, so one more thing to make sure is that your mood should be at best before fighting the final boss. Increases your speed by 10% once again. And if you guys saw the crit that Lacey had earlier, you understand why. And this is done with full SR Arcana. So just to quickly show you, these are all SR Arcanas. If I can do it, you can. So you can simply replace any of these to SSR Arcana and you'll perfectly do fine. Everything else is just level 25. Trust me, you guys got this. You are able to clear far, even with just SR Arcana. So I know I salted a lot of people, but hey, at least I proved something. You can actually do everything else with just SR Arcanas. Just make sure that you put in the right stat enough and even it out with Vitality for your survivability, and you'll be perfectly fine. So at the end of the journey, all of your gifts will be converted into potential points, so you can use it to increase more other potentials. And there are also Starlight Guidance. This one is a special thing for Water Arcanas, but she doesn't need it. And I'm just doing this for example, so we're just gonna increase the strength and end it right there. And that is the entire full normal journey run. And let's see how much we get despite the SR Arcana. We still get 5,600 regardless of our Arcanas. So this one is actually pretty decent for F2Ps out there or small spenders. Even F2Ps should have at least 1 or 2 SSR Arcanas by now, so you can definitely do better than this. Alright, that is the entire normal journey run that you guys wanted to know about. So the important thing to note is, of course, Arcanas again are a core aspect of the game. They have a lot of stats buffs into your savior itself, so make sure to go ahead and upgrade Arcanas as well. One more question I would like to answer is, should I focus on saviors or Arcanas at the end game, or just focus on getting the limit breaks? Now, while 4 limit breaks SSRs are important, max limit break basically, so you need 4 max limit break SSR to break the 160 wall, but Arcanas are still gonna be very helpful in the end game for you to get a better savior Stellar Archives. So in my defense, or to answer that question, Arcanas are still going to be a priority moving forward. So after this, make sure if you have the chance to pull for Arcana either from the free currency or if there's any other future events that come out, make sure to go and roll for Arcanas, because these Arcanas are going to be very helpful in your Stellar Archive perfecting basically. Alright, with that being said, that will be the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do apologize if I stutter a lot. I'm trying my best to explain, because whenever I commentate while I'm doing things, it becomes a bit hard for me to do so. So once again, I apologize if I stutter a lot and if my explanation is bad. Let me know down in the comments if there's still anything you guys don't understand. I'll try my best to answer it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name's Aaron. I'll see you guys in my next video, and have a nice day.